Cool guys, so welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be talking about the absolutely incredible miniseries Chernobyl. Cool, so also just on a side note, I know the background's a bit different, I know it's a bit messy, I know it's not the same. Sorry about that, I'm trying to figure stuff out, I'm trying to figure out a new cool setup. Haven't got there yet, I do apologize. So Chernobyl, guys, this show was absolutely incredible. I really mean that. It's definitely the best show I've seen so far this year, 100%, and it's definitely one of the best shows I've seen over the last couple of years. So Chernobyl follows the events that happened after the nuclear power plant explosion in 1986 and obviously Chernobyl. And this show was just incredibly interesting. I obviously knew about the explosion, I knew what happened at Chernobyl, but I didn't know to what extreme some people went to covering the truth of what happened, and then also the extremes of what some people went through to uncovering what happened at Chernobyl. Extremely interesting stuff. The whole cast of the show, there was no one cast member of the show that I thought was phoning it in or wasn't doing as good as the others. I thought the whole cast was excellent. Really excellent, especially the lead characters. I'm not even going to try to pronounce their names, but they were incredible. And as far as I know, most of the characters in the show are people in real life that these actors are portraying. There's a couple people who I know weren't actually real people, and they were kind of there to represent a larger body of people during those times. So they were kind of representing a group of people instead of one person. So they were kind of made up for the show, but still based off real people. I don't know if that makes sense. I hope you guys catch what I'm saying there. But besides that, majority of the characters in the show were real people during these events. Each episode is about an hour long, and there are 5 episodes, so it's really not a long show to get through. You could smash the show in a day or two, I reckon. It's like watching a 5-hour movie, pretty much. So you could definitely get through it quite quickly. One of the things the show does great is it shows us the perspective of events from certain groups of people. In the first episode, we obviously see these events roll out through the perspective of people who are working at the nuclear power plants, which is interesting because they kind of know that something bad is happening. But then from a different perspective, from the people of Chernobyl who are watching this event take place from a bit of a distance away, they have a different perspective to what's going on. And it's very interesting. There's this incredible scene where a group of people are on a bridge and what looks like snow starts falling from the sky, and obviously we as audience members know that this is actually incredibly dangerous radioactive debris from the nuclear explosion, but these people just see it as snow and they're playing with it, they're letting their kids touch it, and us as audience members just know that this is incredibly dangerous, this is incredibly bad. Fascinating to watch. What the show does great is it sort of makes this Chernobyl event, this Chernobyl explosion, Chernobyl as a place, a character in the show. There are many scenes where you're just sitting there and you're like, oh my word, this is devastating and I can't do anything about it. This is like shocking and I don't know what to do. Like, you kind of feel trapped while watching this because of how tragic these events are, but you're just watching it roll out, you know what I mean? It's incredibly captivating in that regard. There's also some extremely tragic scenes of watching some of these victims of this nuclear power plant explosion in hospital dealing with the consequences of that explosion, and they have obviously been exposed to extreme amounts of radiation and they are just suffering because of that, and you can see like their skin has been burned from the radiation. They are dying. You're watching these guys die and it's tragic. It's like it's so horrible, and well, it was extremely difficult to watch. And another thing I loved about the show is how they made the Chernobyl disaster seem extremely scary and dreadful and terrifying. There are scenes where animals are dying because of the radiation. There are scenes, like I mentioned earlier, where people are on this bridge and they watching this debris of the nuclear plant and they're like playing with it. There are scenes with people in the hospital bed where you can see what the radiation has done to people. And then there are some other incredibly tense scenes where people have to go into these radiation zones to try do something, and you can just hear that terrible radiation static sound, and it is terrifying in the show. I hate that sound now, like it's scary. I would love to possibly do a video essay on the show soon because of how compelling it was to me. It was extremely well done, extremely well crafted. The color grading was great, the music was great, the sound design, the sound mixing was great, cinematography was incredible. I don't think I have any fault with the show. I honestly don't think so. There were times, I guess, where certain scenes dragged out maybe a bit longer than they had to. But besides that, I thought the show was extremely compelling and extremely interesting. I learned a lot from the show. And another great thing this show does is it shows how tragic this event was. But it also celebrates the people who try to bring to the world's attention what happened at Chernobyl. And to the men and women who made incredibly huge sacrifices during this time. So I'm glad that it did acknowledge those people who did have to sacrifice a lot during this time. There's a lot of other things I would love to speak about the show, but I'd rather you guys just go watch it and enjoy it for what it is. It is an incredibly, incredibly well directed and well done show. Joanne Rednick, I hope that's how you say his name, he did an incredible job with this show. I cannot wait to see what he does on the big screen with regards to movies in the future going forward, because the show was incredibly well directed. Like seriously, seriously well directed. It's also a show that I cannot wait to revisit, and I haven't felt that way about a show in a very, very long time. So that's also a reflection of how good the show is, at least for me. Guys, if you've seen Chernobyl, let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. If you're starting it, what are your initial thoughts on it? If you've finished it, what are your thoughts on it? I'd love to hear your opinion on that. Are you a fan of miniseries? I personally love miniseries because of how there's a beginning, middle, and end. It feels like everything comes full circle within a season, which is nice, and it doesn't have to rely on season upon season upon season to explain the story. So I do enjoy miniseries quite a lot. Let me know if you enjoy them as well. And of course, guys, like this video, subscribe, and press the bell icon to be notified every single time I post a new movie review, TV review, whatever. If you are keen to stick around, please press the bell icon. I would love to have you guys here. Thank you so much for watching this, guys. Go watch Chernobyl, and I guess I'll see you guys soon. Bye bye.